Let me ask you something. As I think about your journey into the cryptocurrency space, I remember when you first got bullish on Bitcoin, you were irresponsibly long. I remember you talking about that on the podcast TFTC and what Bitcoin did. I recently heard that you only hold one Bitcoin now. My question is, why?
You know the answer to this. Generally speaking, listen, I understand there's a philosophy to the space and people want there to be, Bitcoin at the base center of money, and that may end up playing out over time. But my job is as an investor, not a philosopher. And my job as an investor is to look for better returns. So a long time ago, about a year and a half ago, I switched most of my Bitcoin holdings into ETH, and then I bought a basket of alts to get different exposure to different parts of the market, because you don't really know what's going to get traction and what's not. So over time, I continued to reallocate my Bitcoin into ETH. I always wanted to keep a bit of Bitcoin because you want to, cheer for the team as well. But also, the thing that I get Bitcoin maxes hate me for is this is a network and a community. If you are fundamentally awful to people joining your community, people want to leave. And that's just a matter of fact. And if you get picked on every time you say anything that could possibly be perceived as anything negative on Bitcoin, then you, after a while, you think, why even bother? Now, you'd bother if it was outperforming, but it's not. And I think the network growth in Bitcoin has been slower than people have expected, and this is one of the reasons. I mean, institutions just don't like this kind of stuff. The toxicity that can exist. I mean, there's tons of good people in Bitcoin, and I understand the philosophy, and if that's your point of view on the philosophy, great. But don't attack other people, because then it becomes like a religion, and they become exclusive and not inclusive if you're not careful. And that's the issue I had. So I always want to retain some Bitcoin, but it's not going to be my core holding unless I think it's going to outperform, which I don't think it will.
Yeah. The Bitcoin maximalist community, the toxic, most people are cool, but the toxic ones can sometimes be so toxic, even amongst their own. The biggest Bitcoin maximalists will call other Bitcoin maximalists Bitcoiners sometimes, in my experience. I don't know. It's pretty
I know,
cutthroat.
And what's been hilarious to watch is as crypto's fallen over the last few weeks, it's accelerated its decline. I mean, it's like monkeys flinging poo online now. Everyone's throwing poo at each other. They all hate each other. Everyone's calling each other out for a bad call they made in the past, or some reading of the on-chain analysis. It's ridiculous.